On the mic with us today is the Nipple Sisters. Discover how these ladies blend art and healing to empower cancer survivors.
Under my left arm, there was a little pulse. It didn't hurt. Little pulse. I'm like, what's that? But if I didn't listen, it would have went through my body. So the doctors, oh well, yeah, our lymph nodes swell when we're sick. Don't worry. And I'm like, no, I had to push for an ultrasound and to get that checked. But it was my cancer that moved from my breast to my lymph nodes.
Through this awakening, she learned to listen, trust, and honor her body. In this episode, we explored the transformative journey of nipple restoration and tattooing. Discover how these ladies empower cancer survivors. This is Rise and Thrive with Ms. Monday. I'm your host, a photographer, filmmaker, and artist devoted to telling stories of brave souls who are standing up, speaking truth, and building something better. My podcast is independently created and powered by passion, just my soul connecting with your soul. If something here moves you on the show, I'd be honored if you'd like, subscribe, and share it. Your support fuels this movement, and it means more than you know, so thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much for being on the show. Honestly, I love connecting with awesome women, and especially women who are making a difference. You girls rock, and you're living proof that enduring hardship can lead to a new path of purpose and success. You are both living in your fire, a life-changing business post-cancer. Wow. And you're celebrating nipples, which is also so cool. I love it. The Nipple Sisters.
Yes.
Woo! I love it. So my big question is, why hasn't this been available before? Or maybe it has been. Maybe we'll talk about that. We can get into that. But first, I want to talk a bit about you, Carmelina. We're going to start with you. You have gone through a lot. So I thought maybe we can start with your story from diagnosis to surgery and how your perception of your body changed after everything. And how has this influenced your mission or your mission?
It kind of fuels our purpose. We love this. Like, that's why we are the Nipple Sisters. So thank you. So coming up this July is my 10-year cancer-free. It's a huge thing because I was supposed to be on tamoxifen for 10 years, which I chose not to. That's my health journey. I don't push that on anybody. That's what I intuitively wanted to do, but it's a big deal. I got diagnosed in December 2014. My first chemo was December 12th on my 50th birthday in the morning at 8 a.m. It's crazy, almost destiny. Like, my path is supposed to be that way. We'll get into more how Kacie and I got into areolar restoration because it aligns. It's crazy how our life kind of aligned in different times, sliding doors when we didn't even know it. I got diagnosed at my first chemo. So back then, I didn't think it was a gift till later. I was kind of just floating through survival, afraid, scared, in shock. First thing I didn't want to do, I didn't want to die. I didn't want to lose my hair. So vain, but it's true. Don't want to die and don't want to lose my nipples. And I was searching, how can I keep my hair? Looking up cold caps, bought fake brow hair. It's crazy what your mind goes into, like how our body and our physical appearance is everything. But why it's a gift is because I lost an old me. I did 8 rounds of chemo. Surgery and radiation. I did the 4 hardest chemos first, which are usually the 4 last ones, because you're young, you're strong, you can do this. But what's crazy is the more time passed, as I started to lose my hair 14 days after my first chemo, slowly my brows, my lashes, and you get the moon face, swollen body from all the toxins or poison that's killing the cancer, but also killing your good cells. My nails fell off. That's when I started losing me, but I started gaining me, which I didn't know that at the time. And I can say that now, that I gained a new me, and it was a gift. And I'm lucky to be alive because sometimes chemo doesn't work on people. There's so many types of breast cancers and it doesn't work. So that was the gaining. They did want me to do a mastectomy, but because I'm smaller. I would have to do expanders. I didn't want to do that. I just got out of 8 months of chemo. So I said, please, what else can we do? Can I do radiation, lumpectomy? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, what's the percentage of that? And I go, please don't take my nipple off. Please don't take my nipple off. He cut around it. So I'm lucky because he wanted to take my nipple off. But losing part of me was just gaining part of me. So when you asked me that question, and I'm happy that, it's gone. I don't like to say remission because I always feel like it's just sitting there. It's gone. And I just changed a few things in my life. Like I don't drink at all. Like they wanted me on tamoxifen. Intuitively, I didn't want to be on this pill. It's an estrogen blocker. Not saying it's wrong for everybody. For me, I chose not to do it. And I just changed a bunch of things. I did a bunch of alternative medicine and I trusted the Western medicine with chemo because I felt like I had to do that because my cancer did move into my lymph nodes, which is very dangerous for those microscopic cells that can metastasize into the body. So I gained me by losing me.
How did you find out that you had breast cancer? Were you touching? Like, was it like, what was that? What was that like?
That's a really good question. I never did the whole breast check. I don't have big breasts like Kacie. She has naturally beautiful boobs.
Hey, everybody listening out there.
She doesn't. So I never really did that check. But what I did feel under my left arm, there was a little pulse. Didn't hurt. Little pulse. I'm like, what's that? But if I didn't listen, it would have went through my body. I said, that's strange. Like, what is that? I went to the doctors. Oh, well, yeah, our lymph nodes swell when we're sick. Don't worry. And I'm like, no, I had to push for an ultrasound and to get that checked. But it was my cancer that moved from my breast to my lymph nodes. So if I wouldn't have checked into that, I always say, be your own advocate, like push. It would have spread. Didn't hurt at all. It was very light pulsing. It was like, hi, I'm right here.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're like, you're not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
So you followed your gut instinct. Yeah, because with a big boob, they always say like there's a lump, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't have a big boob, you would just assume that it'd be a big lump, but it wasn't. It was behind it.
Like it wasn't sticking out. There's no evidence of anything there. So I would never have known.
Now you're 10 years cancer free.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And not doing it with tamoxifen. I got a lot of pressure from my oncologist. Like every appointment, Carm, you're going to start the pill. And I'd always say, no, I'm trying to get pregnant. Really, I wasn't. I just said that so I wouldn't have to talk about it. Like shut them up because I understand their protocol, but I was just following what I wanted to do.
Yeah. Oh my God. Good for you. Yeah. That's cool. Well, you girls are really good friends and you have a very successful business, which is so cool. So for anyone who's listening is wondering like, well, nipple restoration, what is that? When I first heard about you ladies, I was like, what are they doing? This is so cool. Could you walk us through what your services are like or entail and how long does it take?
Those are good. I'll jump in and then Carmel can jump in as well here. So for a restoration, typically takes about an hour. Like it's actually way quicker than people may think. Carmen and I work in tandem. So we work together on a patient, but I'll just kind of explain from the start, like what is areola restoration? So we are paramedical experts in our field. So we specialize in nipple restoration. And all that means is after a mastectomy, and Carmen and I were just actually talking about this yesterday with a different cancer interview that we had. And I think it's a good point because for us, we work every day and nipple talk every day. But for anybody who's listening out there, after we call our patients our warriors. So after a warrior undergoes a mastectomy surgery, that is a full amputation of the breast and the nipple areola complex. So it's two things. So our job is once the breast is restored by the plastic reconstructive surgeon, we come in at the very end stage and we create the nipple magic. So that's the paramedical tattoo. So it's a permanent application. And we create what looks to be like real anatomy. So that's our job is to create that second piece that's been amputated and to restore the physical look of the breast. So that's kind of more of the medical side of what we do, but with art, but it's more than just the nipple that we restore with our warriors.
It's a 3D nipple, paramedical nipple tattoo, and we're also doing scar camouflage because they have a lot of scars and it depends what reconstruction they've had. But like Kacie said, it's just not a form of art. We're restoring a lot of healing and what's been taken away, and it kind of gives them a flashback of what they've gone through to where they are, because we're literally the last thing, because they have to heal before they can get their paramedical beautiful tattoo custom made by us before they can go further. So we make sure the symmetries measurements are correct, the colors are matched, and we make sure the color, we have to make sure the color is going to heal like that. So we go a bit darker because it's going to heal 30% lighter. So there's a bit of a art form to it. And I know it's
major. When we see a patient, sometimes they've only had one breast removed and reconstructed, and that's a unilateral restoration. Sometimes there's both breasts, and that's bilateral. Sometimes there's one breast that's removed and then their natural breast is still existing, but they've had to go in and take out like as a lumpectomy. So a lot of times though, we are creating anatomy from scratch. So it's like a blank canvas. In the case where it is a unilateral, where we're matching the existing anatomy, we sometimes will go in for patients too, and it's called areola blushing, and we'll blush the existing side so that it matches the reconstructed tattoo side. So by the time, like Carm was saying, everything softens and heals, it looks just like it belongs there. So yeah, there's different scenarios. Every patient, every case is different, but a lot of times we're working on either bilateral or unilateral mastectomies.
Okay. Now, bringing it back to the core messaging of your work, what does owning cancer mean to both of you beyond the physical restoration?
I always say the first thing is, do you have any unhealed, traumas or issues that you need to work on before they go into treatment? Because I honestly believe that cancer can develop from that. And, obviously there's a lot of factors, but that's the first thing I say. So own your cancer, own your life.
Like own your story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. So I'm a spiritual person, so I like to bring this up in my conversations. Did you ever feel like you were divinely guided, either one of you, Kacie or Carmelina, in your business or in your own personal life?
That's interesting. A year before I got breast cancer, I read an article about this guy. I always say this about this guy in a rural town in the States doing aerial restoration. It was new. It was tattoo. And I was like, oh, I would love to do that. I don't want to become a tattoo artist, but I would love to just do art nipple. And then I got breast cancer a year later. So I'm like, oh, that's weird. So right when I was done my treatments, I wanted to do it. Kacie we were talking and she wanted to do it too, because she also knew about it. So I do believe that where I am today, my job, me lining up with Kacie, we both lost our brothers.
Yeah.
Kacie's affected by cancer as well. She has a genetic mutation, Lynch syndrome. Her dad died of colon cancer. So she's 80% chances of getting certain cancers. So we're big cancer advocates. And I truly believe, yes, this is my path where I'm supposed to be. So yes, I believe in divine guidance, but I'm very spiritual, and I do listen, and I know I'm guided this way. And I know that our angels like Jeff, Franco, my dad, her father are guiding us. And I know I'm supposed to be doing this.
Yeah. It's a crazy feeling when things are whatever path that is you're supposed to be walking on and serving. Like I always say that we're just walking in service. And that's exactly what we do, like for our profession, but outside of our profession, giving back just on a different level. It's the fuel comes from above. The fuel comes from that, whatever that is, in that spiritual realm. It's hard to put your finger on exactly how to explain that force. But like Carm was saying, how she got breast cancer within that time, like, how would you know that was the path you're supposed to walk? I knew I wanted to get into this line of work after my dad died from colon cancer. It was like I want to do something that gives back in the cancer space, but I don't want to be a doctor. I don't want to, nursing wasn't really, I respect nurses so, so much, but that just wasn't my thing. So it's incredible how this creativity plus medical art comes together. And what we were able to create is just something different. And it's coming from a fountain of way higher power that we can't even explain, but like our angels like watching over us. It's a pretty spectacular, heartbreaking combination though. Like you're protected and you're guided. And like you had asked earlier if there's any practices that you do or follow. And I talk to my angels. Like I talk to my dad all the time. I talk to
Love
my
it.
brother. Like I truly feel the energy of that. And like they're the ones up there being like the magicians above. And it's like, if we're listening, the path that we can walk is absolutely beyond imagination, right? For us living in Earthside, it's pretty spectacular, and you just have to surrender. I really think you have to surrender and go through the fire.
It's so
Yeah.
true. And I love that you said that your family's up there watching. I feel like that too. We do definitely have some kind of guidance
Oh yeah.
and yeah, if they're looking down on us, that's why it's like you got to do good and they'll help you, If it's true, I saw something that you guys were performing this nipple restoration for charity. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
an initiative called Procedures for a Positive Purpose.
Yeah.
So because in Alberta, this isn't covered by AHS, Alberta Health, it's out of pocket. So there's a lot of, women that can't pay for this. So we have an initiative where we get angel donors that donate, and that money, whether it be $300 or $1,000, we make sure that it's going towards women that are on the wait list for this procedure.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's
Directly. Yeah.
nice. I love that. So we'll put that in the show notes, everyone who's
Yes.
listening. I'll put that link there if you guys want to sign up, if you feel like, hey, maybe I can afford this, but maybe you'll qualify through this way, which would be pretty cool. Now, running a business requires a lot of strength. What do you wish more people understood about this emotional journey of breast cancer survivors? Yeah,
That it
Carmelina.
never stops. It really doesn't. Like there's always little kind of crumbs left, but it just feels like, what if? You almost have to keep going, and not that I always block it. My cancer's never coming back. Like I always block it away. But most cancer patients that aren't there, they live in that fear. It's like working a muscle. I'm good at compartmentalizing, but I know other women that ask me, like, oh, I don't know, and that they're freaked out, and I feel bad because I'm like, thank God I'm not living like that, but there's a lot, dude, it's scary. So I think the fear part.
It's probably the word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. It does require a lot of strength. And so good on you for being so strong, Carmelina.
Oh,
That's
thank you.
awesome. Now, Kacie, if you could change one thing about how society views body image post-cancer, I guess. I mean, this could be for Carmelina too. What would that be? What do you think that?
Yeah, that's a big question, and that's a great question. Personally, I haven't been through breast cancer myself. I have a genetic disposition, so it's a mind fuck. Like, bleep that out. Sorry,
Yeah,
but
that's okay.
it is like because of my situation, I go in for annual testing every year and have since I was in my early 20s. It's the same genetic disposition that my dad had and died from. So by that own mental battle about how you feel about your body, I can only speak to that perspective. I can, from working with so many warriors and obviously it's hard to say because I haven't been in that position, but what I will say is when you see a warrior that has fully stepped into it all and embraced kind of every single aspect of what's going on, it is the most beautiful moment when we're able to do the work that we do and see that full completion and see just some of the strength come back. It's such a crazy thing that your body is like it's like a whole new person you have to get acquainted with again. And I just think that the magnitude of what a warrior goes through by just physically seeing the scars is like warrior doesn't even do it justice, to be honest with you. So it's, I think, more of just the emotional and physical side of how society would view somebody actively going through treatment or actively battling cancer. Just compassion, more
Mm.
compassion. Yeah.
Can you share, I'm sure you have hundreds of stories, but can you share a story where a client's gratitude of transformation left a lasting impact on you? Do you have any? I'm
Almost all
sure.
of them. Well, I mean, there's so many. Like every single warrior touches us in a different way, and that's kind of one of the things too with the line of work that we do. It as we're working in light, like that's what Carmen and I choose to do and give back on that high scale and to humanity in that kind of way. It's like we're being healed. Little bits of us are healing as we're working and creating. It's like this, it's this give and take, and it's so beautiful. And like I live for that, I really live for that feeling and knowing that, hey, like we're doing something really great, but it's also healing us, in exchange.
Yeah.
And it's so bizarre how those things always work out. But I think too with some of our warriors that are terminal, those are the ones that
Mhm.
really stick with me a lot, because you're never, you're never not worthy to feel right and to feel complete. And that's the hardest one, especially like like cancers coming back, so there's so many different aspects of working with warriors that I think when you initially start in this industry, you don't really think too far about, like, you don't think about all those details, but those are really profound and impactful, of course, and life changing to be a part of that
Mm.
journey.
Mm. Wow. Now, looking ahead, what legacy do you girls, or what do you hope Nipple Sisters leaves with us in the world?
We want nipples with attitude. And
Love it.
our legacy, just that we are here paving the road to regulations, bedside manner, emotional intelligence, because
Yeah.
it's more than just drawing and using your tool to put a nipple on somebody's traumatized skin.
Mm.
Yeah.
And finally, if you could give a piece of advice to anyone who's starting their own journey and healing, especially you, Carmelina, what would that be?
From breast cancer,
Yeah, or any cancer.
any cancer, that's great. I think before what I mentioned is look at anything that's made you angry, that's hurting you, that you've been carrying for a long time, and start there.
Mm.
And don't shut down. Keep going and have your support around you. Cancer can make you isolate. Like I
Mm.
isolated a lot, even though I had a lot of support, but you isolate because it made me feel alone. And I know a lot of cancer patients feel that way because people want to relate and it's scary. So they'll say, oh, my aunt has cancer, or I know someone has cancer, but we don't want to hear that. And
Mm.
it's not a bad thing towards those people saying, they're just trying to relate and help, but don't isolate.
Mm.
Just be open and know that people are just trying their best, because cancer scares them. The cancer word scares them. So some people stay away. So yeah, as a cancer, don't
Yeah.
isolate and like kind of be gentle, with that
Mm.
aspect.
What do you think that you would have liked to hear? What would you like to hear if if you're in that situation?
More, well, more people, not because I know when I didn't have cancer and when I knew people did, I understand because I was on both sides. Um, you think that you can't like bug someone so much? No, bug them. And like,
Okay.
like just even bug them more, show support more. Yeah, like don't be afraid.
Okay.
Like they need to know that there's people there. So
Mhm.
just keep like, hey, how are you? Like leave food outside their house, leave a smoothie, leave a note.
Mhm.
Don't just do it. You can do a text, but like let them know you're there.
Mm. Wow, that's so nice. Come around more, be there more,
Yeah.
show support more. I think that's wonderful advice. Thank you so much for saying that. Now, is there anything else you ladies want to talk about before we go? I know you have a lot of awesome products that you sell too. Anything you want to plug or anything?
Maybe, well, we have our company that Kacie and I, we founded. It's called Skins Official, spelled Kins, Carmelina for the C, Kacie for the K, Skins, pronounced that way. And we have amazing aerial restoration products, but it's also used for we have a protective aftercare spray. It's amazing.
Yay.
There's the box.
I'm in
Canada approved, which is not easy to get. It's selling in MediSpas. So not only for the paramedical world of aerial restoration or brows, because we also, we use it. It's an aftercare or post or pre.
Yeah, we're just super proud to be females in business, changing this space for the better. I think we saw some really big gaps, and it takes a couple crazy, spicy females to make some changes. And so we, kind of in tying in that legacy question there, I think that we want to leave this place better than we found it. And that's what we're trying to do, not only just with our work, but also with our company, Skins Official. Quality products, amazing products for the greater good. So we're really proud. We're a Canadian company. That's so important to us. And yeah, we're just excited for what's to come. And the business space is it's very interesting when you do start a business up. And we always say, like, beyond the stars, like, we're shooting beyond. So yeah, thank you so much for supporting and having us here and chatting about all the things.
For having us.
Actually, when I found out about you, I was like, I've never heard of this before. This is so cool. So I needed you on the show.
Yeah.
Now, if there's any listeners, because obviously some of my listeners are American or from around the world, do you do any virtual appointments?
We do.
Okay.
People fly to see us from everywhere. So we do virtual appointment consultations because people look at our work. And it's the most important thing. You have to do your homework on this. You just don't want some random, that's just did a 2-day weekend course doing your areolas. You're working on, it's more than just, it's a lot goes into this. So we get a lot of patients, people that have friends that need them, that send them our way, doctors. So yes, call us in, email. Come visit.
I love it. Well, if you guys listening and you're interested, I'm going to put all the details in the show notes. So scroll down and you'll find them. So any last words, Kacie, before we go?
I'm very happy that, we're on the show and we can spread this awareness, and anybody out there that needs a nipple or needs product or wants to reach out to us.
Totally. And I'll finish on this. Be brave in your advocacy for your own health. That is a huge component. Push for what you need. Like Carm was saying with how she discovered her cancer, but we're huge in the advocacy side of the work that we do. Not only being affected ourselves, but be brave. I know it's scary, but stand 10 toes down on something that is true. So that's what I'll leave it at. Be brave and advocate for yourself.
Be brave. There you have it, guys. So thank you so much, Carmelina and Kacie, for sharing your powerful journey on our show today. Your dedication to what you girls are doing is so cool. To our listeners, if today's episode resonated with you, please check out these girls. I'll put the website there in the show notes. And don't forget to follow us on social media as well as the Nipple Sisters. And if you have any questions, leave a comment and we'll get back to you. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening today. And until next time, cheers. Bye.
Call us in, email. Come visit.
If you enjoyed our interview today, please share and like it. And if you have a unique story of how you are creatively engaging with our world, I can help you share it in a multitude of different ways. Whether it's through photography, film, or being a guest on my podcast, be sure to reach out. My mission is to make you and your brand stand out. Please visit our website, www.riseupandfixit.com. Now, this is Rise and Thrive with Ms. Monday, brought to you by the Rise Up and Fix It podcast.